Hey, how's it going? So, I'm not sure if you saw the post I did about Ed Milet's interview with David Goggins. Um, I just watched it a second time. Well, I finished watching the second part of it at the gym. What's up, Jason Alt, my brother? How you doing? Wearing my 10X hat for you, dude. So, I'll tell you something that I have, like, there's the David Goggins book Can't Hurt Me. I'm reading Tom Ziegler's book right now, which is literally, I was literally just reading this, called Choose to Win. Unbelievable book. Unbelievable book. Choose to Win. Tom Ziegler. That is Zig Ziglar's son, by the way. He is the CEO of the Ziegler companies. And I'll tell you, there is a common thread that I literally was just sitting here thinking about this as I finished reading the first chapter or second chapter. There's this common thread among the super successful that, and every single one of them that I've talked to, I mean, they all have this one thing in common, and that is they have this ability that we all have, but they've fine-tuned it and they've expanded on it. And that is they have this ability to see with their eyes closed or open. They see where they want to be. They see the goal as, like, Tom talks about in his book, he talks about, describe your dream home. What is it? Is it where you're living? Is it something else? And describe it in detail, like really fine detail, and then visualize yourself being there, and then at different stages of life. And he goes into great detail in this book, and it's not the first time I've heard that. It was a great reminder. I don't know what it was. And then I started thinking about the interview that Ed Milet did with David Goggins. And David Goggins is the only human being on the planet to ever have been a Navy SEAL, and all these other things like that he did for different branches of the military. Like, he is the only human alive that's done all of these things, right? Like, and he had to go through Hell Week with the Navy SEALs three times, because of falling down and not making it, and his knee almost exploding. It was so swollen, and getting, out on a medical because he gave up on himself. And he talks about that. But, here's the thing. He finally decided he got a chance to go back for a third time. And he made the decision that no matter what, he wasn't giving up. And again, go back to the Ed Milet and David Goggins interview. Look, I know some people are like, oh, he curses too much. I get that, man. I mean, whatever. But that's just, he talks like David Goggins talks, whatever. Like, the dude is unbelievable. And he said it came to a point when he was in the third round of going through Hell Week. He said, I got to a point where I was like, you know what? No matter what, he had broken bones in his legs. He had a broken bone in his freaking leg. His shin bone was broken. And he sat down on a bench and he wrapped it with a towel or something, and then wrapped it real tight with duct tape. And his feet had broken bones, and he wrapped them with duct tape so he could keep going. Because he said, I had already visualized he said this, I had already visualized myself as being a Navy SEAL. So there was no other choice. my body had to do, and I had to do what I had to do. There was no failure, wasn't an option. I had seen it thousands of times already, and I knew. One of the biggest secrets, what's up, Fidel? How you doing, bro? One of the biggest secrets that I've seen with all of these super successful people, Grant Cardone, I've heard Grant talk about it, having a vision board and having your goals clearly defined and what you want, like what you really, really want. Most people, as Zig Ziglar used to say, are wandering generalities. They have no real direction. They have hopes. Boy, I sure hope I can pay my bills. Boy, I sure hope I can get a new car. Boy, I sure hope I can get this old car fixed if it needs it. Boy, I sure hope I can put food on the table. Those aren't goals. Those people are living on hope, living on hopium. What's up, Bill Have? How you doing, brother? Hey, if you have to have it, Bill Have has it. Hit him up, man. He can hook you up with a car anywhere on the East Coast. It doesn't even matter if you're in like Mississippi. He'll drive it to you. He'll deliver it to you. I'm kidding. I can't back that up. I don't know that that's a fact. But I'll bet you that if for the right deal, he would get the car to you. But here's the thing. What's up, Steven? How you doing? So all of these people, man, all of these people out here are like, and I'm talking 99% of the world. Like, you might be included in it. Like, what are you what thinking? Like, I sat down here just for a little bit and I wrote out, first time I've done this in a long time. And I'm telling you, man, I have visualized some things in my life, and boom, man, it happens. Excuse me, it happens. It happens. And I've seen it. Andy Frisilla talks about that. He talks about the house when he was on my show. He talked about the house that he lives in right now. He talked about how it's like, he's like, bro, funny story about that. And I heard him on his Instagram stories. He's going to tell that story on one of his podcasts. He said, I haven't told that yet on my podcast. He told it on mine, though. He told the story about how he wanted that house and he had been going after that house. He saw himself living in that house since 1999. And there was already somebody and a family and everybody living there. But he knew that house is going to be mine. Not a house like it, but that house. And if you've ever seen the movie The Secret, and when what's the dude's name? The guy from, I think he's with Remax or something. John something. I can see him. I forget his name. Anyway, he talks about how he took a cutout of the exact home that he wanted. Thank you, Danielle. It was fun. That dude is just amazing. But he found a picture of a house that he wanted, and he put it up on his vision board, and he always looked at it and visualized this house. And he goes, and then years went by, and that vision board got packed away or whatever. And we had moved from one side of the country to the other and moved somewhere else, and 10 years go by, and I'm sitting there, and we move into this new house in California. And on the ocean, beautiful home. And he said, I'm sitting there in my office, John Assaraf, that's his name. Thank you, Jeffrey. And he said, my 10-year-old son is sitting there sitting on this box in my office. I'm trying to get some work done. And I said, hey, could you stop? I'm trying to focus here. And he's like, yeah, Daddy, what's in this box? And he goes, I don't know. Let's look real quick. And he opens it up. Long story short, he pulls out the vision board. And he's like, wow, here's my vision board. And his son's like, what's a vision board? He's like, well, you take pictures of things that you want to manifest in your life, that you want to create, and you put them on here and you focus on them and you visualize it happening. And his son's, he goes, and then I look at it again and I suddenly, my eyes well up with tears. And he says, what's wrong, Daddy? And he's like, it's this house that I'm looking at. Thank you for sharing, Linda. this house, this is the house that we are living in now. Like, not a house similar to it, the exact house that he had cut out years earlier and put on his vision board. And so, it made me think, like, as I'm reading Tom Ziegler's book, this is the value, by the way, of doing 75 hard. Just so you know. Thank you for sharing, Jason Alt. I appreciate you, bro. The value of 75 hard that I'm doing, I'm on day 17. The value of it is it's forcing me to read books again. It's been a long time since I've read books. I mean, real books. Like, I've flipped through books here and there, but I'm talking about I listen to books all the time, right? I've taken the easier, softer route. I've taken the path of least resistance. Who has time to read a book? My gosh. I'm trying to write books, not read books. But, I'm doing 75 hard, and I'm like, it forces you, you have to read 10 pages a day out of a book. So here I am, I'm reading books, and I'm reading Beyond Positive Thinking by Dr. Robert, whatever his name is. I just finished that. I'm reading Tom Ziegler's book, Choose to Win. And it already, just in this short 17-day period, me too, I love to read again. I know. And so in this 17-day period, I'm on day 17 at the end of it. Hopefully, if I remember to take my progress pic. But and I'm finishing up a chapter in this book, and I'm like, oh my God. I haven't been writing these things out in great detail and really visualizing on what I want to create. So what happens if you don't do that? What happens if you don't do that? Any guesses? Anybody want to guess? What happens when you're not clearly writing out and defining what you want in your business, in your life, and whatever? What happens? You become a wandering generality. You're like a ship floating around out in the middle of the ocean with no destination in mind. Where's it going to end up? Crashing against the rocks, maybe? I don't know. But it's definitely just going to be floating around, being tossed around by life, which is the ocean or the sea, right? It's just going to toss you around. You got to get clear, man. You got to get specific. You got to get really crystal clear. Writing out. I literally just wrote out a long description, went and showed my wife, and I'm like, look at this. I just wrote out the description of our perfect dream home. And I made sure to include horses and a barn and a lot of acreage because she wouldn't care about the rest of the house. That's all she wants. Horses, barn, acreage. So I made sure I included that because I knew that would complete her vision for it as well. So again, and I made sure there's a nice kitchen in my description and all that. But get crystal clear on what you want. And I'm going to tell you something though. Here's what I'm going to tell you. As I was writing this out, and I was writing out, I want a swimming pool that's indoors and outdoors, right? I want one that's connected. Like Grant Cardone's old house in Beverly Hills, it had one of those. But that's what I want. But here's the trick. Here's something that my mind did. I don't know if yours does this or not. As I was writing this out, I was like, dude, you're literally describing a $15 million home. And my mind was going, how are you going to buy a $15 million home? That's not even real. What are you doing? See, the mind does that. But and I don't think I'm alone. I'm sure that everybody's mind does that. When you're writing stuff out, when you're like, man, I sure would like to have a Lamborghini. That would be awesome. Yeah. Man, but who can buy a car that expensive? Holy crap. You could feed the world. Why would you buy a car like that? So your mind does all that stuff. And Goggins talks about that in that interview with Ed Milet. I've listened to it twice. I'm on my second time. Well, no, I listened to it twice, and now I'm actually on my third time. So you've got to. You don't have to do anything. I'm not telling you what to do, but I'm telling you what just kind of transpired for me. And that is, man, I haven't really been super, super specific about my goals like that. I didn't really go into great detail. The goals I've had have been more of wishful thinking or living on hopium. I hope I can get this accomplished. And when you write out what you want and you're very, very detailed in what you want and what you desire, something happens in the mind, something happens with God, the universe, whatever it is, but things start coming together for you. Things start making the pathways open up for you to be able to start accomplishing what it is you want to accomplish. So just kind of a little epiphany moment for me. That's it. I just wanted to share that with you guys. I appreciate you all jumping on here. I got to finish up my I got a couple more pages to read, and then I'm way over the water. So I've done my gallon of water, way over the water. That's the thing, is I've been doing like probably a gallon and a half. Yesterday I think I did 2 gallons. It's crazy. Like once you get started, like I don't drink anything else. I drink a cup of coffee in the morning. That's it. I drink water with dinner. I drink water with lunch. That's all I drink. So anyway, listen, you guys have an awesome night. I appreciate you. 75 hard. You guys rock that are doing 75 hard with us. There are 83 people in that private group now. Blows my mind. 83 people. It's crazy. You guys have an awesome night, and we will see you later. Thanks for hopping on.